Okay, so a few moments ago I just looked at the TSS from the coach's perspective. So now I'm going to try and look at it from the parent's perspective. Okay, so what the parent, so the parent is going to see the benefits of the TSS system in a number of ways. So first of all, let's see. No, a lot of parents are on our Facebook. So the first thing is they're going to see activity on our Facebook. Um, I won't go into there, but that's fairly straightforward in terms of what they're going to see on our Facebook channel. Generally, we have a home farm TV, and we tend to put stuff up. For example, here is here is just something we did there with yeah, it's here. Just something we did there with the kids, the girls, and it was just a goal, and that's it, just one goal, but really trying to promote the girls' game. And that's it. Join the revolution. It will be televised. It's just an example of trying to increase our profile within the girls' game. So, and I suppose the girls' section is something that we're growing, and it's not exactly the same in the boys' section, but really it's about what we found is when we did the Super Cup, the Colin Cup, the response from parents was absolutely tremendous. When we covered the SFAI Cup final, when we've done videos on particular players, just basically content and sharing that content, and for some elite players that's important. It's an important feature of their career path. So that's a key aspect. Just to show you, yeah, we have a thing called Home Farm TV, which is also on social media as well. So sorry, this is actually the wrong channel. I have a different one. There we go. That's the Home Farm TV there. So there's loads and loads of stuff there, including, for example, this feature, which is what we've realized, that you can actually put the VO system onto your PS3 or PS4 or Xbox, and the kids can have access to their games on Monday after the weekend, if their game has been covered. So again, that's important information from the parents' perspective. I know personally, I mean, I prefer to see them watching themselves play football. One of the things in dedicated practice or deliberate practice is a coaching, a term, and it's when a person, a child even, continually looks to improve. And one of the ways they can do this is to look at themselves and to check themselves. And you've often heard that in terms of interview preparation or presentation preparation. And this is something that now technology is allowing us to do, to listen to our own voice, to make presentations like this, to practice at things. So practice is repetition, a review, and improve. So that's, from a parent's perspective, this is what the TSS allows and combines with the coaches. So obviously the perspective as well for your child, from the parent's perspective again, is that your child is getting the absolute best in video technology and other things. So in other words, we want to reinvest. We're a non-profit company at Home Farm, a non-profit organization, and that's why we're able to use software like this, and sorry, not software like this, but the Google Workspace, for example, and we're allowed to use that free of cost. So this gives us the same functionality as a major multinational would have. So this allows us to do things like this and to do it safely and securely. So your child is getting the best in terms of infrastructure and commitment, and we're pouring any benefits directly back into the members. So just an important thing on that is, in order for us to be able to fund these things like the new AstroTurf, the facilities in order to be able to subsidize trips, or in order to be able to run the club and deliver this type of value, we need to go out and get sponsorship. And sponsorship was done in a particular way in the old days. You just go with a begging bowl type approach. But the TSS really tries to harness the technology that we have to capture the data and then to use that data in a way that allows companies to get involved as well. You know what I mean? To get involved and to invest in the teams, because there's a benefit there in terms of marketing to us, to the people that actually watch the kids play, but also to all the other teams in the league as well, because each league is an ecosystem on its own. Another area that's really important in terms of the TSS, if there's a thing called the 80-20 rule. It's called Pareto efficiency, and basically any referee will tell you that 80% of the problems in terms of discipline and issues at games come from 20% of the teams. So by introducing cameras even for a small amount of the games, it will have a direct effect on behaviour. And one of the things about the TSS system is that it requires all coaches to adhere to the club's data privacy, the club's pitch side policy, the WhatsApp policy, and all the areas that that are covered within the whole kind of Google workspace and GDPR, and this all just puts in standards of decorum, of behaviour, and everyone knows that when you put a camera in anywhere, behaviour does improve. So this has a direct impact on everyone's enjoyment of the game, the kids' enjoyment of the game, and the standards within the grassroots football. So another area from a parent's perspective is just the pure enjoyment. The fan growth, people talking about the games, people following the league. One of the areas that I enjoy most is when I get comments or even emails and texts from people who have for the first time seen their child play. I mean, not their child play, sorry, but let's say a grandparent is living very far away, or an uncle, and they're living maybe the other side of the world, or they for the first time they've seen their child, and now they can see their grandchild or their relative play, quite regularly, and so that's very satisfying from a personal perspective. But it's a great thing, and this allows as well, in terms of a huge element of the TSS as well, helps teams to fundraise. So because everything is online, and the squad sites, which I'll touch on in a second, it allows us to create templates for fundraising, which means that we're not reinventing the wheel every time we want to fundraise. So this year we're trying to organise 3 trips, a number of trips to Barcelona, and 3 girls teams are hoping to go there, and I think 3 boys teams are hoping to go as well. So that's 6 teams going to Barcelona, and this requires organisation, it requires fundraising, and it requires everyone to have a bit of fun. And there's a huge when you go on a trip like that, people want to hear about it. It helps raise our profile, it helps get people more committed to the club and to stay longer, and maybe to make decisions about staying with us rather than going somewhere else. So it's all about keeping your child happy, content, motivated, and obviously providing value for money as well in terms of the membership. So let me see what else is there on that. Yeah, I wanted to touch on the squad sites. It's important from a parent's perspective. Okay, so one of the things that has proven really, really popular is a squad site. So in every professional club or team, you would have a squads, there's a squad site, like there's basically a player forward, so you've got pictures of the team. This is a standalone linked subdomain for the team, and it has its own analytics, it has its own information. And one of the things that's really good fun is doing these GIFs. These are silent moving pictures which can be added to an email or even added to a post or anything like that. So the idea, it was very good fun doing them with the kids. They like it, it's a photo session kind of environment. And also if they want, they can actually add some biog. Now this is a permission based site, so because it's under a team, so the parents group, for example, have access, and there's a form that I use if anyone wants to become a fan, I call them. And then people can become supporters, and a supporter is a fan who just donates some money or sponsors in some way. So it's lending itself to be able to fundraise, to be able to add highlights, like here, of the games themselves, links to the actual games, links to player reels if they so wish, fixtures, league tables. I have a more advanced site like this that I use for the Colin Cup that has the league tables in a very well illustrated format. So really it's just about providing a sense that they belong to a club but that's best in class. It's really like providing this brilliant environment and professionalism. Yeah, another area that the parents should be aware of is that not only do we have the club Facebook, you know what I mean? So that's the club. In terms of hierarchy, you have the club Facebook, the LinkedIn, the YouTube channel, okay, and the Twitter. That's what we do as a club. That's our communication. But each team has its own. Let's say, for example, it communicates through WhatsApp. It has its Google Workspace professional email system. It uses Google Forms to collect data so that it's secure and GDPR compliant. It's got a squad site like I've just shown you for each team if they so want it. And it's very important here is that the team has its own Instagram. So this is super important, and we use that Instagram to grow the fan base, and all the other teams in the league over time grow their own fan bases, and the sponsors of course are looking, and they want to kind of catch on to the whole thing. So the whole idea here is that we, over the time, not only are we developing the story of our team, but we're also developing and being part of a story of the whole league that we're playing in. And that is a really interesting story from start to finish, not just in every season, but every consequential season. That it just becomes one big really interesting storybook. So I hope that kind of explains it. I do have another. That explains the kind of, from the parents' perspective, what the TSS is all about. At the moment, I'm just working with a number of teams and trying to just, learn more about it, because I've never done this before. I'm just kind of learning as I'm doing. But I'm trying to make sure that we build the correct infrastructure, including all the permissions that we need from the parents, all the stuff, so that I'm not chasing my tail, trying to make sure that we deliver everything. So everything has to be in a proper system with the correct protocols and the correct infrastructure. So I hope that helps to explain it, and I look forward to implementing this over the next number of years. Thank you.